this show on the road here. All right, now you are watching. Yes, you are watching Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right, and the left, well, the left is always on the wrong side of history. Why? Because political minds want to know. So enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup. With tonight's top stories. Oh, well, guess what? Now, the CBO report says Obamacare is a job killer. Yeah, and it could lead up to 2.3 million jobs lost. And the White House is ecstatic, delusional, I should say, calling the CBO report inaccurate. And the IRS scandal blows up once again. Hearings reveal that there was loads of corruption on there. In that fact there. But Benghazi is also still a big deal here, thanks to the O'Reilly interview. We did shed light on some of that. And Obama stresses income inequality, but we have a study that shows the income gap soars under Obama. We will tell you about that all in the Herald Examiner. Also, we will take it to the phones and talk to you, the viewers, on this and more as we go into another edition of Political Magazine with your humble host, William Mitro. Well, my friends, we are at a crossroads here. There's lots of stuff going on in the news here. And now, my friends, all right, so now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news here, but we just found out that there's a new report out. The CBO came out, the Congressional Budget Office came out with a new report. Okay, can you understand this? Okay, CBO came out with a new report saying that the Obamacare will cost millions of jobs. That's right. Okay, and the White House is kind of ecstatic of not believing the report. All right, and this is what we as Republicans have been saying all along, okay, about Obamacare. It's just a bad medicine for the economy and everything. All right, so the CBO comes out with this report. All right, and okay, and the White House is ecstatic. Okay, comes out with this report saying that Obamacare is a job killer. It could lead to is really bad for the country. Could lead to at least 2.1 million new jobs. At least 2.3 million new jobs would be lost due to Obamacare. Okay, now, and this touches on a lot of things that I have been talking about lately, because in this, the White House is ecstatic, calling the report inaccurate and just not believing the reports. All right, this is one thing that we know now that that is just factually wrong with the administration here. All right, they put out laws and everything, and on top of that, we now find out that there's another delay. Okay, Obamacare in Obamacare. Okay, the president just today they were reporting on it. Okay, just today that the president Obama now has put in another delay, another waiver to his Obamacare. All right, this is and okay, it has to do with the contraception law. Okay, now a while back the administration was sued, okay, over the contraception mandate, okay, from several businesses, and he most recently lost the battle with the Little Sisters of the Poor. Okay, in other words, you don't mess with the nuns. Okay, the nuns now have won their lawsuit. The Supreme Court handed down a victory to them. This all goes with the freedom of religion clause in our Constitution. All right, and along with that, the Hobby Lobby also won a lawsuit with that. So now Obama is now waiving the mandate for these businesses to cover contraception because it violates their law, their standard of living. All right, and he's admitting defeat in all of this. He's admitting defeat. So he's handed down a victory for the country, actually, all right, and for small businesses. So for small businesses with 50 employees, okay, he's waiving the mandate for the contraception, okay. So ultimately now he's admitting defeat and trying to change his own law, which he can't really constitutionally do because he can't unilaterally change laws like that. All right, and this, my friends, has a lot to do with how the law was constructed by the Congress, which was Democratic controlled from the start. Okay, in both houses of Congress when the law was passed. Okay, so now, the administration suffers another defeat on this with the CBO report coming out and all of this. Jobs will be lost. We have been saying this all along, that Obamacare is a job killer. Okay, and now the warning from the CBO report. Okay, which I find the CBO report to be mostly accurate all the time. Mostly accurate. Okay, at least 99% accurate. All right, and I would trust the CBO report, the Congressional Budget Office. Okay, before I trust the administration on anything. All right, so this hands down a defeat for the Obama administration, which we now know, by the way, that now that we brought to light that interview with Bill O'Reilly, we know that Benghazi is now a big deal as well. All right, Benghazi is a big deal. All right, and this is going to kill the Obama administration. All right, okay, or it's gonna kill the Democrats along with Obamacare. Okay, namely, a lot of Democrats now are touting Hillary Clinton as a candidate for president. All right, and now this comes as quite the shock here, as Benghazi now is still a hot button issue because we lost 4 Americans, including an ambassador, which that's the first time and a U.S. ambassador has been assassinated in 30 years. All right, the first time in 30 years. Okay, and now, who's responsible? Who's responsible for all of this? All right, we need to know who's been held accountable for Benghazi. Nobody has. All right, and as far as the IRS deal, okay, now when Obama, um, the IRS scandal blows up. When Obama got interviewed by Bill O'Reilly, all right, we revealed that he said that there wasn't a smidgen of corruption in there, not a smidgen of corruption in the IRS scandal. Well, the IRS hearings found that there was major corruption, okay, major corruption in there, all right, and all of this, okay, has to do with how the administration handles crisis, okay. Now, I am calling the IRS scandal a major crisis, all right, a major crisis, of which we now know that it's one of the biggest scandals under this administration. Okay, nobody was held accountable. In fact, the members of the IRS held a lavish conference, you know, at which they spent millions of dollars of our taxpayer dollars. Okay, mind you. And then nobody was fired from that incident. Nobody was held accountable. In fact, a lot of the IRS got raises. See, this is why we need to abolish the IRS. Okay. But there was a tremendous scandal in the tremendous corruption. Okay, and this just goes to show you that we have the most corrupt administration in history. All right, although Obama doesn't want to admit it. Okay, there is lots to go around here. All right, lots to go around. I mean, we got Benghazi, which is a major big deal. Okay, Benghazi, a major big deal. Okay, and which now it was revealed in the Benghazi hearings. All right, that all of this transpired. Okay, all of this transpired here, and we now know that while all of this was going on, and while the deception of pointing the fingers at a YouTube video and all of this was all going on during an election year, all right, and it was a cover-up, okay, because Obama wrote the narrative that he has ended the terror war, and Al-Qaeda was on the run. And which we now know that's not true. Okay, that's not true. Benghazi is a very big issue. We are still fighting terrorism. The terror war is not over. All right, Al-Qaeda has grown and expanded under Obama. In fact, a lot of what Obama has talked about, okay, has grown and expanded. All right, this, my friends, is just very, very deep. Okay, very, very deep. We now know that I want to make light of certain things here. All right. So hold on one second as I reach down here and grab some things that are very majorly important to this. Okay. Now, that are majorly important here. All right. So now, as I grab what I need here, all right, I want you to take a look at some things. Some things I forgot to cover in the have recently come to mind. Okay, as I want to point you into another direction here. Okay, that President Obama at the State of the Union stressed income inequality. All right, and I'm gonna stress that. Okay, but first, before I get to that, all right, I want to make light of something else. I want to make light of something else that Obama mentioned. Okay, and I'm gonna put this entire segment of the show in my Political Point magazine's political point of vision. All right. Now, I wanted to make light of some things that President Obama said at the State of the Union. Okay. First off, namely this one right here. Okay.
Tonight, this chamber speaks with one voice to the people we represent. It is you, our citizens, who make the state of our union strong. And here are the results of your efforts. The lowest unemployment rate in over 5 years, a rebounding housing market, a manufacturing sector that's adding jobs for the first time since the 1990s, more oil produced at home than we buy from the rest of the world, the first time that's happened in nearly 20 years.
So now, okay.
Cut by more than, and for the first time in over a decade, business leaders around the world have declared that China is no longer.
Okay, wait. So on that note, okay. Now, he said oil production in the U.S. Okay, well, hold up. Okay, he said oil production in the U.S. is more than the oil-bearing countries. First time that's happened, right? Okay, well, we produce more oil here in America than Saudi Arabia and the other oil-bearing countries combined. So this brings me to my friends to another segment, of which I have put together in this, my friends, in which this brings me to another segment, of which I have created a campaign for this, okay, and in which so all of that is true. True that we produce more oil, okay, than the other oil-bearing countries. All right, brings me to my little segment here of telling the president to approve the Keystone Pipeline. Yes, that's right. In my campaign against the anti-fracking liberals out there, that shows that fracking is actually safe, and we need to approve the Keystone Pipeline, in which this is what the effect would be on the U.S. economy. Okay, first off, okay, the Keystone Pipeline would add hundreds of thousands of jobs to the U.S. economy. All right, it would lower the unemployment rate dramatically, more than tenfold. Also, it would lower gas prices. All right, and also, okay, it would boost it would boost economic growth, plus boost energy and oil production in this country, making the U.S. energy independent. This is what we need, my friends. All right. So why, if all of that in that segment is true, all right, why has President Obama not approved the Keystone Pipeline? He's blocked all of that. Okay? He's blocked the Keystone Pipeline. Hasn't even decided whether or not to put it into play, but it's bipartisan. Both now Republicans and Democrats have stepped forward saying that we need to approve this project. We need to put this into play. Okay, we need to drill on our own soil. Okay, we need to approve offshore drilling. Okay, in the outer continental shelf. All right, this is something that President Bush was stressing. Okay, energy independence, and the Republicans tried so much to put this into play when Bush was president. Okay, but when the Democrats took control of Congress, they kept on blocking everything. Okay, coming from the Republicans. All right. Okay, so we need to approve this project. We need to drill, baby, drill. All right? This is what we need to do. This is good for the country. All right? So once again, the Democrats have now put themselves in a position where they're just blocking progress. All right? So again, I put this into another segment here, all right, in which we talk about how President Obama talks about income inequality, all right, and I'm going to take you to a new study here, a new study that shows that income inequality has increased under President Obama, all right, but at the State of the Union, President Obama talked about income inequality and the effects that it's caused on the in this country. All right, but take a look at this. All right.
Suffered some serious blows. Over more than 3 decades, even before the Great Recession hit, massive shifts in technology and global competition had eliminated a lot of good middle-class jobs and weakened the economic foundations that families depend on. Today, after 4 years of economic growth, corporate profits and stock prices have rarely been higher, and those at the top have never done better. But average wages have barely budged. Inequality has deepened. Upward mobility has stalled. The cold hard fact is that even in the midst of recovery, too many Americans are working more than ever just to get by, let alone to get ahead. And too many still aren't working at all. So our job is to reverse these trends. It won't happen right away, and we won't agree on everything. But what I offer tonight is a set of concrete, practical proposals to speed up growth, strengthen the middle class, and build new ladders of opportunity into the middle class. Some require congressional action, and I'm eager to work with all of you. But America does not stand still, and neither will I. So wherever and whenever I can take steps without legislation to expand opportunity for more American families, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so now he in that statement, now he talked about income inequality, and I want to talk about this because now there's a new study out, which I take you to. All right, there's a new study out in this Herald Examiner, and I'll take you to that article right here. That shows that income inequality has soared under President Obama. That's right, my friends. Okay, income inequality has soared under President Obama, and this is the case here. Okay, now, okay, so we take you to this study, in which it states, okay, that in the State of the Union address, President Obama returned to the theme of income inequality. All right, but income inequality soars under President Obama. Okay, yeah, to the theme of income inequality. Okay, namely that the American dream is in trouble, and that growing economic inequality is larger is largely to blame. All right. Yeah. So, in a speech, the Herald Examiner points out that says in a speech to the Center for American Progress last month, Obama said the combined trends of increased inequality and decreasing mobility pose a fundamental threat to the American dream. Okay? Now, he's been carrying along this, okay? Now, likewise, the New York Times columnist Paul Krugman recently wrote that the nation claims to reward the best and brightest regardless of family background, but in practice shuts out children in the middle and working classes. Okay? Now, the Herald Examiner points out that in this study, okay, the new Harvard study, okay, what are the factors preventing poor children from getting ahead? Okay, an important new Harvard study that looks at the best community data and mobility in America data on mobility in America suggests a cause progressives may find discomforting. Okay, the new Harvard study asks what factors are the strongest predictors of upward mobility in multiple variable regressions. Okay, now the number one factor they cite is family structure. All right, family structure. All right, of all the factors most predictive of economic mobility, okay, in America, one factor clearly stands out in the study. Okay, family structure. By their reckoning, when it comes to mobility, the strongest and most robust predictor is the fraction of children with single parents. All right, they find that children raised in communities with high percentages of single mothers are significantly less likely to experience absolute and relative mobility. Moreover, children of married parents also have higher rates of upward mobility if they live in communities with fewer single parents. In other words, it looks like a married village is more likely to raise the economic prospects of a poor child. Interesting. Okay. Now, all right. The next thing they cite is racial and economic segregation. Okay. According to the new study, economic and racial segregation are also important characteristics of communities that do not foster economic mobility. Children growing up in communities that are racially segregated or cluster lots of poor kids together do not have a great shot at the American dream. In fact, in their study, racial segregation is one of only two key factors of the two key factors. The other is family structure. All right. Now, the third factor that they cite in this study that is school quality. Okay. Another powerful predictor of absolute mobility for lower income children is the quality of schools in their communities. Okay. Chetty et al. measures this in the study by looking at high school dropout rates. Their takeaway: poor kids are more likely to make it in America when they have access to schools that do a good job of educating them. All right. Now, so the quality of the education is a factor too. All right. Now, the fourth one is social capital. Okay. In a finding that is bound to warm the heart of their colleague, okay, Harvard political scientist Robert Putnam, Chetty and his team find that communities with more social capital enjoy significantly higher levels of absolute mobility for poor children. That is communities across America that have high levels of religiosity, civic engagement, and voter involvement are more likely to lift the fortunes of their poorest members. All right. Now, the fifth factor is income inequality itself. Okay. Finally, okay, consistent with the diagnosis of Messrs. Okay, Obama and Krugman, Chetty and his team note that income inequality within communities is correlated with lower levels of mobility. However, its predictive power, measured in their study by a Gini coefficient, is comparatively weak. According to their results in statistical models, okay, with all of the 5 factors that they designated as most important, economic inequality was not a statistically significant predictor of the absolute or relative mobility. Okay? Now, in this study, they also said that cash assistance doesn't work to further mobility. Okay? Now, the Obama administration has just thrown money out to the poorest of communities and expanded the welfare state. Okay, and expanded and he's trying to expand unemployment benefits. Okay, all of which have not succeeded in expanding or at least lifting the poor up from from their poverty, from their life in poverty. All right. So every effort that Obama has done, throwing money at the situation doesn't work. Okay. And now, finally, the study also shows that Obama income inequality plans. Okay. Now, in the State of the Union speech, okay, President Obama made income inequality the one of the centerpieces to his speech. Okay, political analysts say that it's a way for him to connect with a public still anxious about the tepid economic recovery. Okay, now in its fifth year, okay, and upset with Obama over the disastrous rollout of the Obamacare, they also see it as a way to rally his liberal base in advance of the 2014 midterm elections. Okay, now, but what Obama unlikely, we now know that the Obama administration has not acknowledged or addressed is that income inequality, as measured by the Census Bureau, okay, Gini index, has increased faster on his watch than it did under any of the three previous presidents. All right, now, okay, so, and it takes you to this graph, okay, which I'm going to put you deeper to it. I'm going to show you this, okay. It's right on the front page of the Herald Examiner, all right. But this graph right here, okay, which says income gap soars under President Obama, okay. Now, okay, now, it says now it says here, and it lists, okay, income inequality as measured by the Gini index has grown faster under President Obama than under other recent presidents, and is now at historic highs. Okay, so from 94 to 2012. All right, okay. We show this graph, and as you can see, okay, okay, and Obama, okay. Here's a closer look at some of Obama's proposals. Okay, taxes. Raising taxes on the rich might seem like a good way to close the income gap, but inequality rose faster under President Clinton, who raised taxes than it did under President George W. Bush, okay, who cut them, okay. So yeah, so in Clinton's first 2 years of office, okay, which we look at this, okay, you see there was a 1.8%, okay, in Clinton's tenure, in all of Clinton's tenure, there was a 1.8% increase of income inequality, okay, in there, and also Clinton raised taxes, and when Clinton raised taxes, it was the largest tax increase in all of history, all right, which led to a recession, okay, all right, now then, okay, all right, then, okay, so then, in fact, the inequality measure was the same when Bush left the White House, okay, as when he entered it, okay. So there was essentially no income inequality gap, okay. It pretty much stayed the same under Bush. So we were pretty much were in a safe level of mobility here under Bush. Okay, we were actually better off under Bush. Okay, as far as economically. All right, because Bush's policies, and I posted that up in previous episodes of the show, but Bush's policies, we actually had a better economy under Bush. Okay, Bush cut taxes and generated 19% more income or revenue into the federal government. It was the Bush tax cuts that spurred the economy, and Bush created over 9 million new jobs in his whole tenure. Okay, and the average unemployment rate under Bush was 4.4%. Okay, all right. So more people were working under Bush, okay, and more income was actually generated, okay, more jobs, you know. So here's the other thing. So then it goes on to say, okay, that that raising taxes doesn't work, Okay, raising taxes actually increases the gap, increases the gap between the rich and the poor. Okay, so and this is one thing the liberals and the Democrats haven't learned. Okay, while we were steady, and while we were actually growing our economy under Bush, okay, our economy was actually faltering and increasing the inequality gap under Clinton and Obama. Okay, but we may have lowered the deficit and created surplus under Clinton. Okay, but that was because of the Republican policies. Okay, the only thing that saved Clinton's economy was the Republican policies through the Congress. Okay, in other words, Clinton reached out to the other side and actually worked with the other side. Obama's not working with the other side. Bush had the comfort through most of his tenure of a Republican-controlled Congress. So stuff got done. Okay, so stuff got done. The last 2 years of his presidency, the Democrats controlled the Congress. And then that's when things economically went south. All right. Okay, so you see the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans in their leadership roles. All right, the graph clearly shows how Obama's policies are totally disastrous for the country. Okay, and we need to fix it. All right, Obama raised taxes more than his predecessors. Okay, more than Clinton. Okay, he raised taxes more than Clinton. All right, and this now under Obama has shown to be ineffective. All right, ineffective. So this, my friends, is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, now, okay. On top of that, the study cites that on minimum wage, Obama calls for another round of minimum wage hikes. Okay, by raising the minimum wage. But raising the minimum wage hasn't reduced inequality in the past. Okay, now the minimum wage has been raised twice before Obama. Okay, again, okay, it was raised once under Clinton, okay, in 1998, okay, and then it was raised once under Bush in 2007. All right, okay. Now, mind you, okay, when that happened, income inequality kind of grew again. Okay, so raising the minimum wage does not work. Okay, it's not working, my friends. Okay, and Obama in the State of the Union, once again said he wants to raise the minimum wage. Okay, he wants to raise the minimum wage. Okay, but see, there's a problem here, and I cite this a lot too. Okay, so raising taxes and raising the minimum wage doesn't work. Okay, it's counterproductive. All right, so this is the message that this study is putting out. Okay, you can't raise things in order to fix the situation. Okay, we need to change the tax code entirely. All right, okay, we need to change the tax code entirely. All right, and so if you really want to improve things, you need to cut taxes. Okay, and that's what that graph shows. Okay, it's a no-brainer. Okay, it's a no-brainer. Why are these Democrats out here saying that they want to raise taxes when in effect, this study clearly shows that raising taxes doesn't work. Raising taxes actually adds to the injury of income inequality. All right, so we as Republicans need to send this message out loud and clear. Okay, that if you want to improve things, you need to make it better by cutting taxes, changing the tax system altogether, okay, and making it easier for the lower class to become the middle class, and the middle class to become the upper class. That's what we need to do. All right, so we need to change the tax code entirely and get this on edge here. All right, but so in the meantime, now I'm going to take it to the phone calls. Okay, take it to the callers. Okay, which is 272-3835 is the number. What is your take on things? It's okay. I know you've been paying attention. All right, so the administration stresses income inequality, of which this is just okay. But I know everything will work out fine. All right, but 272-3835. Okay, so this is the message that this study is putting out. Okay, and you see, President Obama has been president for 5 years now. Okay, 5 years, and he doesn't realize that his own policies are causing the pain, causing the gap to increase between the rich and the poor. All right, so we've established in this study that the raising taxes doesn't work, throwing money at the situation doesn't work, and raising the minimum wage doesn't work. Okay, it's that pure and simple. The issue here now is in the tax code. Okay, it's in the tax code. Now, let me point you to a great man here. All right, let me point you to a situation here. All right, in which we now know that. Okay, let me point you to another situation here. All right, in which this, my friends, comes at a time where we are all okay. Another great president who changed the tax code entirely was Ronald Reagan. Okay, Ronald Reagan. All right, one of the greatest presidents we ever had. All right, mind you. Okay, one of the greatest presidents we ever had. Okay, had changed the tax code entirely. All right, made it better for the American people. All right, and boosted the economy and income inequality. He closed the gap between the rich and the poor. All right. Okay, but let me show you a clip from one of Reagan's State of the Union addresses. All right. Okay. Now, take a look.
Rate our economy by giving people greater freedom and incentives to take risks and letting them keep more of what they earned. We did what we promised, and a great industrial giant is reborn. Tonight, we can take pride in 25 straight months of economic growth, the strongest in 34 years, a 3-year inflation average of 3.9%, the lowest in 17 years, and 7.3 million new jobs in 2 years, with more of our citizens working than ever before.
There goes Bob's mood.
Okay, yes, but that, my friends, was the.
Torturing him like they.
Oh man, that, my friends, was the was former President Reagan on the toll there, but yep, and it's like the Democrats just haven't learned here. The Democrats just haven't learned. All right. You can't grow the economy. Okay, we've had the slowest economic growth in history under President Obama. You can't grow the economy if you're raising taxes and actually contributing to the situation, to the pain. You're adding to the pain, adding insult to injury. All right, so this study makes it perfectly clear. All right, what we need to do. Okay, we need to lower taxes, and we need to cut the deficit by cutting needless spending. Okay, cut taxes, cut needless spending, okay, and that spurs the economy and literally creates jobs. All right, this is what we need to do, okay? So that, my friends, it's just a no-brainer. I just can't imagine why Obama doesn't see this. Okay, so in this study, my friends. Okay, in this study, all right, we are now. So I'm going to put this up again. Okay, this is what people need to be paying attention to. Okay, the income gap, the income inequality gap. Okay, which has increased under Obama. Okay, increased under Obama. I take you to that again. Okay, right there. Remember that chart. Remember that chart, my friends. Okay. Yep. That is what you need to pay attention to. We were better off under Bush. Okay, so as you can see, we have we have had the worst economic growth period in this decade. Okay, now and Obama just doesn't get it. Obama just doesn't get it. Okay, so income inequality has soared under this president. Okay, so you see the difference here. All right, between Clinton, Bush, and Obama. All right. Obama's increase in the gap between the rich and the poor, okay, this is just, it's a 2% increase, okay, higher than Clinton's increase, okay. Luckily Clinton had, okay, so the richest in America, okay, so in order to put this into play here, we need to get this ball rolling here, all right? So we need to send a message out to all of America that if you want to succeed, you want better policies, vote Republican, okay? The Republicans have the better policies, okay? Which takes me to the, since the phone lines were tied up, all right, okay? Since the phone lines were tied up here, we're going to take it to the last words of the night, okay? The last words of the night, my friends, which I seriously encourage you, okay? This election year, okay, 2014, all right, vote Republican, okay? Republicans have the better policies. As you can see from that graph, that chart, that it hasn't been working out well with Democrats in power. Okay, the Republicans have the better policies. Trust me, as I showed on that graph. Okay, it's a no-brainer. Okay, it's a no-brainer. Okay, remember, Republicans have the better policies. All right, vote Republicans. Change the tax code. Lower the taxes. Don't throw money at the situation. It doesn't work. All right, and get rid of Obamacare. All right, that's my last words of the night, my friends. All right, we thank you for watching Political Point Magazine, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. Follow me on Twitter at WilliamMetro2, and also check us out on our YouTube page. Yes. Once again, thank you for watching Political Points, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. I send a shout out to all of you that watch my show. Jake's Pizza, Casablanca Pizzeria, and my dear sweet Lorana. Love you. All right. Take it it easy, folks. Vote Republican. Check us out on the web. Facebook.com/PeakPolitical, MySpace.com/PoliticalPoint, PoliticalPoint@hotmail.com, and MCCarpet24@hotmail.com. You can email us. And also check out my website on the Elmira City Hall Examiner.